In this video we are going to talk about the top 8 things that will happen when Queen Elizabeth dies. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel Edify for future updates. Are you one of the 60 million Americans and an estimated 162 million people that got up incredibly early or stayed up really late to see Prince William and Kate Middleton be married? Do you find the concept of royalty fascinating? Do you consider yourself to be an Anglophile? There is an inescapable fascination with the British royal family, regardless of whether you can honestly say that you care for the United Kingdom and its House of Windsor or not. Even in America, people are fascinated by learning about one of the world's last remaining monarchy, and probably no one is more fascinating or mysterious than Queen Elizabeth II, who reigns over it. The monarch appeared to be becoming more conscious of the monarchy's contemporary role when she permitted, for example, the formal dissolution of her sister's marriage in 1978 and the televising of the royal family's private life in 1970. But the royal family encountered several difficulties in the 1990s. Prince Charles and his wife, Diana, Princess of Wales, as well as Prince Andrew and his wife, Sarah, Duchess of York, divorced in 1992, a year that Elizabeth referred to as the royal family's annus horribilis. In addition, and became divorced, and Windsor Castle, the royal residence, was destroyed by fire. In 1992, Elizabeth agreed to pay taxes on her private income despite being personally exempt because of the royal family's lavish lifestyle and the nation's ongoing economic crisis. Support for the royal family, which some people saw as outmoded and uncaring, was further eroded by Charles and Diana's separation and subsequent divorce in 1996. After Diana's passing in 1997, the criticism increased, especially after Elizabeth at first refused to permit the national flag to fly at half-staff over Buckingham Palace. The Queen then sought to project a less stuffy and traditional image of the monarchy, in keeping with her earlier attempts to modernize the monarchy. These efforts met with varying degrees of success. An unprecedented number of significant events have marked the Queen's reign. Throughout the extraordinary years since her accession, Her Majesty's birthdays and jubilees have served as an occasion for contemplation and celebration. When people from all over the Commonwealth gather together to celebrate a significant occasion for their head of state, such events serve to further emphasize the sovereign's function as a focal point for national identity and togetherness. To commemorate the Queen's 50-year reign, a jam-packed calendar of events was held in 2002. Celebration, community, service, past and future, giving thanks, and Commonwealth were 6 major Jubilee themes that influenced events. A very busy year for the royal couple resulted from the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh's extended tours of the Commonwealth and the UK. Along with travelling to every corner of the UK, from Falmouth in Cornwall to the Isle of Skye, Her Majesty and His Royal Highness also paid visits to Jamaica, New Zealand, Australia, and Canada. Not only has the second Queen Elizabeth ruled the United Kingdom for the longest period of time, but she is also the oldest living queen at the moment. Most people alive today can't recall a period when Elizabeth wasn't in charge of the United Kingdom. In fact, most of us weren't even around when she took the throne at age 25. It's hard to envision a world without her, but given that she is 91 years old and that all humans are mortal, that day will come sooner rather than later. Here are the top 8 things that will happen when Queen Elizabeth dies. Number 8. Where will the Queen be laid to rest? Currently, Prince Philip is interred beneath St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. When his wife passes away, it's possible that his casket may be moved so that their caskets can be placed together in a special tomb inside the chapel, where the Queen's parents, King George VI, the Queen Mother, and Princess Margaret are all resting. However, according to other accounts, Philip will probably be laid to rest in accordance with his wishes one day in the grounds of Frogmore Castle on the Windsor estate. If so, it's probable that the Queen and Philip will be laid to rest in a mausoleum at Frogmore Gardens designed in the Italian Renaissance style, much like Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. Number 7. Will Prince William inherit the throne of Wales? Following a ceremony called the investiture of the Prince of Wales, Prince William will assume his father's previous title. The succession order will alter in the interim. Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis will all follow William's son as the next in line to the throne. In terms of succession, Prince Harry will be 5th, followed by his daughter Lily and son Archie, who will be 6th and 7th in line, respectively. Number 6. What will Charles do during the Queen's funeral's 10-day mourning period? The new king will go to the 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom: England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland to meet with citizens, accept pledges of loyalty from representatives of their respective governments, and attend memorial ceremonies for the Queen. Number 5. Will the Queen lie in state? Yes, initially in Westminster Hall and afterwards in the throne room at Buckingham Palace. The glistening crown jewels will be piled high in her coffin. The Queen's massive coffin, which will be carried by 10 pallbearers on the day of her funeral and will be lead-lined in the royal tradition, Princess Diana's coffin, weighed half a ton, will be carried to Westminster Abbey for her funeral service. More than 1 million people are anticipated to queue up to pay their respects as she lies in state, though there may be limitations due to COVID. The Queen will lie in state at Holyrood House in Edinburgh before a burial service in St Giles Cathedral if she passes away in Balmoral in Scotland. After that, her casket will be loaded onto the royal train and transported back to London for burial. Number 4. How will we learn that the Queen has passed away? We won't be the first to learn about it, for sure. When the Queen passes away, a complicated set of actions known as London Bridge will be taken. These plans cover everything from announcing the Queen's passing to the funeral service itself 10 days later. The British Prime Minister will receive the news that London Bridge is down over a secure phone line, at which point he or she will realize that Queen Elizabeth II's reign is coming to an end and a new one is about to start. A footman dressed entirely in black will soon inform the Press Association and pin a black bordered notice to the gates of Buckingham Palace. The BBC's staff is already routinely trained to handle the death of a prominent royal, and a radio alert transmission system from the Cold War era called RATS will let them know that something serious is happening. The presenters and DJs of British radio stations will be informed by flashing blue lights on their boards that either a major catastrophe is occurring or that a person of enormous significance to British society has passed away. They'll probably hazard a guess as to what transpired. Aboard plane passengers will also hear the news from pilots. Number 3. Will Camilla become monarch? Queen Elizabeth declared Camilla to be the future Queen Consort in her Platinum Jubilee message at the beginning of February 2022. I know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support that you have given me, the Queen wrote in her message. And it is my sincere wish that, when that time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service. Number 2. Will he become King Charles III? Charles will become King Charles III if he decides to keep his name. But he might decide on a different name entirely. It's highly likely that he will use one of his other names since his complete name is Charles Philip Arthur George. Whatever he chooses, his new name will be made public right away. Charles will deliver his inaugural speech as the leader of Britain on the evening after the Queen passes away. Number 1. Will Prince Charles succeed the Queen when she passes away? Yes. Charles will take over as king right away. The printing of new currency with his face in place of the Queen's will begin right away, but his coronation ceremony, in which he will take the coronation oath and be anointed by the Archbishop of Canterbury, won't happen for at least a year. Charles has reportedly already posed for the photo that will be on British currency. What do you think about this video? Do let us know down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.